This is Greg Fowler for Online London, and I'm with Raymond Day, who's a candidate for election in Ward 1. Welcome.
Thank you.
If elected, how many hours per week on average do you expect that you would spend working in your elected capacity?
I'm not sure of the hours. I hear it's 40 hours a week they work, but I'd be working as much time as it takes to please the candidates that elected me.
Do you think ward councillors are currently paid enough for the amount of work that they'll do during the next term of City Council?
I could get in trouble, but I believe they are.
London's governance model is undergoing significant change, which includes elimination of the Board of Control. Do you think that this will increase the necessity for ward councillors to inform themselves about issues outside of their own ward boundaries?
Most definitely. Ward councillors will have to make sure all the city work, even their own boundaries.
Do you live within the geographical boundaries of the electoral area in which you're contesting this election?
Yes, I do.
How many of your post-teenage years have you lived in London?
All of them. Oh, except 15. I worked in Alberta, in the oil fields for 15 years. Born and raised in the East End, London, Ontario. Proud of it.
Have you attended any standing committee meetings over the last 4 years?
No, I have not.
Have you attended any Board of Control meetings over the last 4 years?
Just as an observer this last month.
Are you familiar with the Municipal Act and the Municipal Councillors Guide?
Not 100%, but I will be if elected.
Strengthening Neighbourhoods recommended development of a neighbourhood matching fund type program for large and small community projects other than celebrations and events. Do you support that recommendation?
I support it 100%. I believe urban renewal should be the main concern with the City of London.
What maximum per project amount should the city contribute?
I believe the city should contribute dollar for dollar that the community contributes.
Do you support development of a community program to fund the creation of public art in public places?
Yes, I do. I believe it's very important.
Should the City of London and its boards and commissions embrace the concept of making their data open and accessible to everybody as often as is possible, and adopting open standards for that data?
I believe this should have been done a long time ago. I believe the people of the City of London should know more about what City Council is doing and be able to have more say in what they're doing. Yes.
When existing software applications have to be replaced or when software licenses have to be renewed, should the city adopt the use of open source software whenever that's possible?
Yes, they should.
Is the city's communication department being given enough resources, money and personnel to properly maintain the city website and to inform citizens in a timely fashion?
I believe at this time that they are.
Should citizens be able to subscribe to subject-specific RSS feeds from City Hall in order to stay informed?
Yes.
Should citizens be able to download the agendas of upcoming public meetings, including advisory committee meetings, at least a week in advance?
A week in advance to the meetings themselves. They should be able to download the meetings, yes. But not the meetings in advance, of course.
Despite the requirement of the Municipal Act that all City Hall meetings be public except for specific reasons, it's been argued that they most often are not because of the inability of the public to hear what's being said. Do you support the adoption of a policy which mandates the use of microphones in all public meetings at City Hall?
Yes, I do, most definitely.
Do you think that the City of London ought to be webcasting all of its public meetings?
I believe they should.
Do you think that all of the city's boards and commissions ought to be webcasting all of their public meetings?
Yes, there should be an open government, open provincial or city government, yes.
Do you think that the chairpersons of all public meetings at City Hall ought to have to announce motions and amendments to motions and the number of votes for and against those motions so that the public can understand what's taking place?
Most definitely.
Should London hire an Auditor General?
I don't think one is needed. to be honest with you.
Should homeowners have to pay a percentage of the cost for the repair of damage to underground infrastructure on their own property that has been caused by city-owned trees?
No, city should pay.
Do you agree with the placemaking concept of neighborhood gateways?
Apparently there's a lot of discussion about that right now, and I haven't seen them myself except on TV, but I would disagree with it. I would say they're more of a hindrance than good.
Should there be increased user representation on the London Transit Commission?
Yes, there should.
If the City of London is going to provide venture capital to businesses, should the city be guaranteed a return on its investment in the event that those businesses become profitable?
I believe that the City of London should invest in small business, entrepreneurial businesses at prime plus 1% return, or what is comfortable with the city, but just a minimal return.
Should people be allowed to naturalize their lawns?
Yes, that would be, I had to think about that one a little bit.
Are London's pedestrians and pedestrian issues sufficiently represented at City Hall?
Yes, I believe they are.
The traffic and parking bylaw prohibits people from using any sidewalk for any purpose other than pedestrian traffic, except as specifically permitted. Should downtown patios, which consume most of the width of the public sidewalk, be permitted?
No, the public sidewalk should remain the same width as always. Cutting back on the patios a little bit, but the patios should still be able to function as a downtown outlet.
When closure of a public sidewalk for construction purposes takes place, what steps should be required to ensure that pedestrians are not forced out onto the roadway in a manner which puts them at risk?
One lane of the road should be closed down, or half lane closed down, with protective fences detouring the people around to the other side.
Is the warranted sidewalk program sufficiently funded?
Yes, they are.
Is the warranted walkway program sufficiently funded?
Yes, they are.
Old, unlit streets are not lit unless there's a local improvement program application and cost share amongst owners. Do you agree with that policy?
No, I believe the city should take control of all streets.
Do you think that special funding ought to be provided to London Police for the purchase of additional Speedwatch radar trailers and the cost of having the auxiliary police section deploy them on a frequent basis?
Yes.
Should the city be spending as much as it is per year from the federal gas tax to construct on-road bike lanes in London?
Yes, we do definitely need bike lanes.
Should bicycles be allowed on public sidewalks?
No.
Should persons in motorized wheelchairs and other mobility devices that are on the public sidewalk be obliged to yield for pedestrians?
No, the pedestrians should yield for the disabled people, yes.
Should the City of London install more bike racks?
No.
Do you think that theft of bikes is an important issue?
I believe the theft of anything, any articles are important issues, including bikes.
Do you have any suggestions about what might be done to combat the problem?
I believe if we get on the side of our police force and help the police out more, make a better budget, more police to patrol the areas, I think that would help. They would have better response times. Our response times are very slow right now because of the overworked of the police force.
Is the City of London currently spending enough money to promote its web-based ride match service?
Yes, they are.
Should there be dedicated and discounted carpool parking spaces on downtown streets and in city-owned lots?
Yes.
Should every signalized London intersection provide advanced left turns?
It would help, yes.
Does the City of London currently provide sufficient funding for the Community Gardens program?
I have no idea what their funding is at this point, but I would say yes, just given the way that the city looks after them.
Should all dogs have to be muzzled when they're not on their owner's property?
No.
Should dogs be allowed at community events?
I believe so, yes.
Do you think that people ought to be able to raise chickens in their backyards?
No. Chickens maybe, but roosters would come along with them.
And that concludes the question and answer interview. Thanks for your cooperation.